Look, every football game is a grind, and if you're like Dan and the crew, you know there's no such thing as one size fits all. Your sleep should be just as custom as Coach's game plan. That's where Sleep Number comes in. You get to call your own plays. Softer, firmer, cooler, warmer, your side, your comfort. Change it whenever you want. No more feeling stuck like a busted play. And for all the late night fights over the thermostat, Climate Series cools up 20 times faster than the competition. True temp bedding kicks heat and humidity to the sidelines so you can actually stay chill all night long. Bottom line, Sleep Number is like having a sleep coach in your corner, adjusting to you all night. Because your best game starts with the right rest. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can sleep just the way that you like. The only bed that lets you make each side firmer or softer whenever you like. Your Sleep Number setting. Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year is here. All beds on sale. Up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Sleep Number, official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby. Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV, it's a new way to experience driving. The fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. The next chapter of Audi is here.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
We are teaming up with Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app. Play Powerball, Mega Millions, even scratch-offs, all with just a couple taps. New customers get $5 in lottery credits when you download the app, opt in, and use code SUPERFAN at sign-up.
We will get back to the silly stuff in a few minutes, but I did want the listeners of this show to get at least a little bit of information because we're so fractured about how it is we consume things these days. Everyone has their own form of media. And in and among Hispanic communities, the way that folks are getting their news these days more than ever is TikTok. It's not Telemundo. It's a lot of Hispanics in this country are getting it through TikTok. And if you don't know what's happening in this country, immigrants, exiles, Latinos are scared, I think. And so Carlos Eduardo Espina is a TikTok journalist, I'm going to call it. Thank you for joining us, Carlos. If you want information on what it is that we're going to be talking about, you can follow him across all social media platforms and at Carlos_Eduardo Espina. So thank you for joining us. And just tell us how it is you're getting your news to people because you're a bit of a new kind of journalist.
Yeah, no, well, thank you for having me. I mean, this is something that started 5 years ago during the pandemic. It almost started as, just an accident. I was bored at home, started making videos about citizenship classes, and it just blew up during that big boom that there was on social media in early 2020. And since then, I've been making 10 up to 15 or 20 videos a day, just, constant news and opinions on everything that's going on. And how do I stay informed? I'm always reading, different news sites. I'm always on different platforms, a lot of also community journalism. People will just send me videos of what's going on the ground and I'll react to it, respond to it. So just a bunch of different ways of getting information out there. But now with social media, everything is so fast paced. You always have to be, on the lookout for what's next, what's happening, and put it out in front of the audience as soon as possible.
So tell us what's the information you're getting on the ground that is real, that is factual about ICE raids in this country that I think most rational human beings watching these ICE raids can know that this isn't what America is supposed to look like.
Yeah, so very early on, during when Trump just assumed office, there was a lot of people who were hopeful. They were like, hey, they're only going to go after the worst of the worst criminals and, the people who have committed horrible crimes, which I think everyone agrees with, right? No one wants people who have committed horrible crimes in the country. But then the video started coming out of, hey, I was at this gas station and they just picked up a bunch of guys who were looking out for work outside of outside of Home Depot or all these other places. And a lot of these videos have only come to light because there's just someone, at the right place at the right time, or maybe at the wrong place at the wrong time, just pulling out their phone and recording it, putting it on social media, sending it to bigger accounts like myself so we can amplify it. And you really do see a lot of the unfiltered. I mean, some of the videos I can't even show on my platforms just because they're so strong that, with censorship and with community guidelines and all that. But I think that community journalism, just very on the ground, is really what has moved, a lot of people's minds.
What can't you show? What do you feel people are not hearing or understanding about what's going on with these raids if they're only consuming traditional news?
Yeah, I think a lot of times it's very sanitized what ends up like on actual news. For example, if you have an instance of an agent beating up someone or, using language that's not appropriate for social media, you can't really show that. So you have to censor, you have to kind of explain around it. But there are other platforms. For example, I found, so I started on TikTok, but I found that YouTube is also, a lot more, basically you can post a lot more without censorship. So over the past few months, I've grown a lot on YouTube as well. But it's really just trying to get that raw video out there, and then people can form their own opinions. They can see with their own eyes what's going on. And like you said, I think most people come to the same conclusion that while immigration enforcement is necessary, the way it's being done right now is just completely out of hand and not okay.
Can you talk about the impact of the fear and the chaos going on in these communities caused by these raids?
Yeah, so I think, what many people didn't expect, especially Latinos who voted for Donald Trump, is they didn't realize, or maybe they did, they just didn't think it would impact them, that the Latino community is just so, leans so much on each other that, we have our own restaurants, our own places to go party, our own, everything, our own businesses. And so when the ICE raids really started picking up, a lot of Latino businesses took a huge hit because people weren't going out as much. They're not eating out. They're not, basically doing the day-to-day stuff that they usually did. And so a lot of business owners are now, debating whether to shut down. Some people have already had to shut down. And a lot of times it's people, who supported Donald Trump because they thought the economy would get better under him. But the economy, at least within the Latino community, is not getting much better. And many of these small businesses particularly are being hit very, very hard.
Can you explain what someone's rights are, immigrant, bystander, anyone's rights if they're caught up in an ICE raid?
Well, so that's the thing is, right, a lot of preparation for all this that was going to happen is, hey, we have these rights that must be respected. You have the right to ask for an attorney, ask for a warrant, you can record stuff. But we've seen, and I think this has really caught the attention of many people, agents who maybe are poorly trained or just don't care, who are just violating people's rights, blatantly. And they're being caught on camera. And you have organizations like the ACLU. I mean, when you see those instances of people's windows being smashed, you would tell someone, hey, you have the right to stay in there until they show you a warrant. You can call your attorney, but that's not really being followed. So I think right now we're in uncharted territory almost. I mean, we've seen people be arrested for recording law enforcement, which once again is not illegal. You can, if I see Border Patrol, doing a raid somewhere I'm at, I can pull out my phone and record, but even that's being, attacked. So it's very hard to tell people what's permissible now, because we have what the Constitution says, what the law says, and then what's actually going on. And unfortunately, they're two different things.
Carlos, do you ever look back, because obviously you're doing very important work, do you ever look back to 2020 when you were bored on TikTok before you do your first video and you're sitting there and you're like, I could do a dance, I could cook, or I could talk about immigration? And then you decided, you know what, this is the route I'm going to go. You ever look back and think, what if I did cooking or dancing or anything like that?
Yeah, so that's exactly the reason why I didn't go on TikTok until that late on, because it was already, TikTok started blowing up, in 2019. But I remember my friends would send me TikTok videos. I'm like, this is like the dumbest app ever. I thought it was like, for like it was when Charlie D'Amelio was blowing up and all that. And I was like, I don't really care about this. But when the pandemic came, before the pandemic, I used to volunteer every weekend teaching citizenship classes in person. I would be like 10, 15 people show up to my classes, but then we couldn't get together in person anymore. So that's kind of where the idea came. I was like, hey, maybe I should start doing stuff on social media. I started on Facebook, but people were like, hey, you should try TikTok. And I was like super anti-TikTok. I was like, you know what, I'm going to cave. I'm going to do one video on TikTok. And my first video just blew up. And I was like, wow, this is actually a very powerful platform. And I realized, that on social media, it's not so much the platform. It's, if there's content out there that you don't like, you can create your own content and there'll be people that like it as well. So that's how I found my niche, and it went very well.
Chris Cody says that's what pays the bills.
He's like, I was anti-TikTok. Now he's like, let's go
Yeah.
You
TikTok.
found your niche, but what if you would have gone quiche? You know what I mean?
No, I mean, it's just it was really interesting the growth because TikTok was just so revolutionary in that sense where a lot of people like myself, we were very like against it, but we realized the issue is not the platform itself. It's just that when it was so new, the content that was on there just wasn't that diverse, and now you have like all types. You have attorneys are on TikTok, you have journalists are on TikTok. I mean, there's all kinds of content, and it's such a great platform now.
But what if you were like the immigration rights dancer, and you were doing
I mean,
dancing videos while giving the information?
People have proposed. I mean, they've told me like, hey, you should open up, some other platforms as well. And I don't give into that, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting. People, there's like, I don't know if you've seen, there's an attorney. He's like, he shows up with like all this jewelry and all these rings, and he's got his own style. So I think that's the cool thing about like TikTok. It's a lot of people who weren't content creators, who never try to be content creators, become one, and then just kind of find their own, I guess, area on the platform.
But how does this work? The news cycle doesn't stop. Raids are continuing around the clock. You are taking a break in the middle of this because I imagine that, yes, it's business, but you're also doing work, I don't know, to protect Hispanics?
Yeah, so it's like it's almost like, social media is really interesting where it's not like a traditional job where you have a set schedule. It's mostly like in between things, I'll be at different events or at meetings, but I'll be checking my phone constantly, or even be out with my family. And I'm like, hey, I need to check my phone real quick in case something happened. And there's been many occasions where I'm like, let's say, for example, at a dinner, I'm like, hey, I have to step outside real quick to make a video. So it's not like I have a set schedule. It's most like, sometimes things just happen. I mean, one very big example of this was I was on the way to Miami for the Copa America final last year. And right as I was about to board my flight, that's when they did the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. And I was like, wait, I can't miss this. So I had to cancel my flight, rebook it. And I was like inside the airport making all these videos. I made like, minute to minute coverage on what was going on. But I guess that's just part of the job. It is what it is.
He is the Adam Schefter of how do you pass the U.S. Citizenship test. It is a strange way to go viral. It's not the way that most people do it. I do wonder, though, where do you believe most of the misinformation, confusion about what's going on is coming from? Because I don't think most reasonable people, if I present them with some of your videos of like, look, do you think your landscaper friend should be treated like this? I think most Americans would be appalled.
Yeah. So I think, one thing I've learned over the years is most people who are, in support of what's going on right now are not bad people. I think they just grew up in different environments and get different sources of information that maybe they haven't been exposed to what's really going on. And I mean that is in the sense of, I grew up in College Station, Texas. It's pretty conservative. I have a lot of friends who voted for Donald Trump. And over the past few months, like we'll be playing soccer or whatever, they'll come up to me and be like, hey, I didn't really know like this is the extent of what was going on. I thought like they genuinely thought they were going to go after like the worst of the worst criminals, what's being shown on Fox News, what Donald Trump is saying in his speeches. And when you start to realize like, hey, it's actually like my friends, my coworkers, people I know. And that's why I think the work that I do and many others are doing is just so important, because I think this country is fundamentally made up of very good people who a lot of times just don't have, the full information. And there are people who genuinely think, these raids are targeting the worst of the worst, which in some cases is true, but in the majority is not. That's one aspect. And the other aspect too is like social media has gotten completely out of hand. And I say that as a content creator. I mean, you said in the beginning, like, most people, especially Latinos, are getting their information on social media. I guess that's good for me, but I think as a society, it's not very good. And the reason why is there's just so much misinformation. And now with artificial intelligence, it's gotten completely out of hand. I mean, people use my image, for example. They'll make like this wild video of, oh, good news. If you pay this guy $500, he'll get you a work permit in an hour. And everyone's like, wow, Carlos is saying it, so it must be true. And I'm like, that's not me. It's artificial intelligence. But especially when you have older people who maybe didn't grow up in that environment, they can't tell. And it just, there's so many layers to, the misinformation, disinformation, just fake news, artificial intelligence, all that. I think it is very dangerous to have a society that relies solely on social media for their information. And I say that as someone who has in many ways benefited from this landscape.
But therein lies the problem. You say that a lack of information is the biggest issue here, but you're not even getting true information from the administration themselves. It's been reported that up to 71% of the arrests that ICE have made are people with zero criminal background. And when pressed on this, the administration says that's not the case. So how do people actually get access to information when we're in a post-truth world?
Yeah, well, that's the question I struggle with the most because, on social media, there's just so much information that you can be very selective. And, for example, my algorithm is very, slanted into one way. I'm sure other people's are slanted in other ways. And I guess the question becomes is how can we, step away from social media as much as possible and actually have genuine face-to-face conversations? And I think that's where the real difference is made, because what social media has created is almost these echo chambers where, people are being fed the same stuff over and over again. And if you're fed 100 videos of Donald Trump saying, oh, we've only gotten all criminals and there's no hardworking good people in the raids, well, then you start to believe that. And so I think, how do you break that structure? It just takes, meeting people where they're at, trying to as best as possible. And a lot of times face-to-face interaction is the only way you can really break through, because otherwise it just becomes an impossible task.
Carlos, thank you for being on with us.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying I know that's a very gloomy answer, very dystopian answer, but I am really worried for the future, not of just of our country, society in general, with everything going on social media, technology, AI, and all that. So we'll see how things end up.
You're worried, are you? You're worried.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, look at you. You're on the middle of a sports show, and look at what we're talking about. Why would you be worried about that?
No, well, that's what sports are for, right? I love to play. I play soccer every weekend, every day almost, to distract myself from what's going on, at least from an hour or two. So keep up the good work. That's always important.
You too. Thank you for being on with us. You can follow him across all social media platforms at Carlos_Eduardo_Espina. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Take care. Have a good day.
Howdy, folks. It's Mike Ryan, and just in time for football season, I am happy to announce our partners at Game Time are back. And look, it's not NFL season without in-demand ticket. There's some big games coming. It's going to be hard to get through that door. Sometimes your only option is a secondary market. The Game Time app gives the advantage back to fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use. And the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time at the best price. Plus, fees are always included. So what you see is what you pay. I'm an NFL free agent, so I'm always looking for the biggest games, and Game Time makes it so easy to peruse the app and find incredible deals, like NFL tickets as low as $100. They have incredible features like seat views. You get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. This is clutch if you're not familiar with the venue. And their low price guarantee means Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference if you find a lower price out there. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, man. The summer's almost ending, man. I don't like that.
There's no way. There's no way.
I am excited about cooler temperatures, but down here in South Florida, that just means slightly less boiling hot. It's been a pretty incredible summer. We've had a parade down here. We've grown our family down here at Meadowlark Media. A lot of exciting things, a lot of memorable benchmarks, and along the way at almost every step, I've been tailed by that beautiful white can of Miller Lite. Oh, that beautiful white can.
Or the brown bottle.
You can do it on draft.
Draft is crisp.
There's been so many great special times, and each time I've decided to make those special times a Miller time. Whether it's a long weekend like one we got coming up or a full-on vacation, it is a perfect time to get the crew back together. This year marks 50 years of Miller time, 50 years of great taste, great friends, and unforgettable memories. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
What does Zyn give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but real freedom. Freedom to do what you love and choose your rewards. With Sin Rewards, you can redeem points for premium tech, outdoor gear, and gift cards to your favorite retailers. Find your Sin and keep finding rewards that fit your lifestyle at sin.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Dan Le Batard.
Chris Cody does an impression. Just be careful.
Dangerous game here. This is a dangerous game.
I don't want to play this game.
No, he was saying, man, I could do such a great Kendrick Perkins.
No, I don't want to play this game.
He's like, man, I can talk just like him.
This is who we're going to trust with this.
You do it. Let's let Amin do it, I think.
Stugotz.
I think you could do it, Chris, because you did a great Charles Barkley. You're 1 for 1 there.
Did no one just hear the segment we just did with Amin? We cannot be taking
judgment is not the best.
Counsel from the local drunk on whether or not you should do the impersonation of a black man stumbling over his words. Like, you don't see the bad judgment in that.
There was.
Moses Moody? Moses?
Don't.
Moody?
You need that. It sounds worse.
Be careful, man.
We cannot do this. It's too close to the line. This is where the line is. Something legitimately funny can't be funny because we're scared our ginger's going to do something racist by accident.
Carry the hell on, Dan.
Rachel.
Dan, the line is where we feel alive, though.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I am seeing all over my televisions in here, Lee Corso. Are we going to actually do this correctly this weekend? We're going to have a giant Game 1 football weekend.
Haven't we? We did it. We got here. How did they screw it up? Did they kick him in the ass on the way out?
I'm just saying that Lee Corso being the big story, we're going to allow someone to age with grace. As we ran one president out of office for getting old, and the other one dies in front of us, hiding his ankles from us, and is also senile. We're going to let Lee Corso on television get old gracefully and send him off correctly.
Did you just make a prediction?
That'd be in the series next year.
I don't know. Let's ask Amin.
Gotta be worried about the whole. Let me not say it. Never mind.
Why'd you
on with your show?
Seriously, why'd you make it about that? But that felt gratuitous.
No, because
this is about Lee Corso.
You got multiple 80-year-olds wandering around out there. We're questioning the mental health of 80-year-olds. People are comfortable mocking the old. Dick Vitale has been a polarizing figure for the.
We're celebrating Lee. We're celebrating.
You keep doing that. We did that. Like 10 years ago, people were having their go at Lee, and he had to admit. I think over the last few years, it's actually been a beautiful thing. People understand what they're seeing on television. Yeah. Everybody knows that Lee Corso has been battling through stuff. Everyone sees the beauty in that friendship that is on that set.
Well, and they haven't forced it, right? Because he hasn't been on every single week.
He'll do like a couple. He'll do like a couple. No, he's there most weeks, but he'll do like a segment or two.
They've been sunsetting him over the course of a few years on that show. Yeah. Has it had its hiccups because he's had his challenges? Yes, I think the internet, which is generally a cruel place, has been kind of understanding when it comes to this one, to the point that we're going to have this beautiful moment. He's probably going to have some struggles in that broadcast because he's had struggles in almost every broadcast over the last few years. And I think people will be understanding, appreciative, grateful, and loving.
It's just nice to see is all I'm saying.
I wonder how they're going to do it because normally, they end the show with him making the pick, right?
Which they will.
Yeah, they will.
I think that'll be.
They're
going to
go about it as if everything is normal. I don't know.
Herbie is going to be a puddle of emotion.
They'll bring Fowler out at some point. Old friends,
Goosies. Yeah. It's going to be incredible.
You can't put on the Longhorn helmet though. In front of the Ohio State. Like they're going to boo him? They're going to boo him.
That'd be great. One last rib on the way out. He gets booed.
Because he did Brutus first, right? So everyone is just assuming he's going to go Ohio State.
I love that.
I would zag. I'm with you.
Zach?
I would zag.
Yeah, zag.
Stugotz?
Zigging? All right.
I thought you said you were with Zag. I got confused for a moment there.
Yeah, we all did.
Everyone's expecting something. I would zag.
I mean, I was called Stugotz earlier.
Steve Martin, also a prop comment.
Huh. Yeah, guys, Betty White's situation's not going to happen. We're 3 days away. We're good.
I hope so.
God.
Wow, Jesus.
That's a prediction.
Whoa.
I'm saying it's not. I'm putting it out there because you guys are all throwing out there, and I'm saying that's not going to happen.
No, I don't think anybody threw.
That's all I'm saying. Just like Dan was only saying that it's beautiful what we're doing. That's all I'm saying.
I concur. That's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I hope not.
I'm not going down this glib path.
I don't know why you even said that.
But I don't think it changes the program. much.
It's
going
drastically
to
change.
It's
Get more viewers.
No, it's going to be a celebration of his life, and the only thing that'd be missing. Well, I'm not doing that.
A celebration of his life.
That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be done. It shouldn't happen.
They would get more viewers.
I don't think so.
Let's not do that.
No,
we're not.
How are the ratings going to be? Are you guys actually interested in this? Because many people object to all the ratings talk out here, but I'm interested in what the competition between these two shows becomes.
I don't give a flying rat's ass about the competition between the two shows. I will see social clips of Big Noon. I don't care about the ratings. I hope it does a great number just because that's great for that show and Lee Corso. I only care about saying goodbye to one of television's greatest morning heroes.
What if Lee zacks and next week 2 he's on Big Noon? And this is all put on the whole time. Then he goes to Big Noon.
His contract actually just expired and he just goes to Big Noon.
Big heel turn.
The real question is, did they offer it? Obviously he'd say no, but did Fox reach out of like, hey, week 2, you're with us?
It'd be cool.
That would be a move.
You remember when Ravishing Rick Rude showed up on Nitro and Raw in the same week?
Same night.
That was crazy.
Crazy.
Corso has the type of swagger about him, and that he could just walk onto that Fox set
wanders to the wrong
and
set.
get a tribute from him. Look,
they're both in Columbus.
To the wrong set.
No, not wanders. Like with intention. All right, with intention, he just goes over to Fox, and he's like, a lot of you guys, Rinaldi, Felica, you all used to be here. You know what?
He might get... All right.
You know what Rinaldi needs to do? What Rinaldi needs to do for Big Noon is Big Noon needs to also pay tribute to Lee Corso.
Yes.
Because there is no Big Noon without College Game Day. We all know this.
They should send people over at whatever it is, 11:45. Hey, you come back next week, but you go pay respect to Lee Corso.
Yeah, everybody. Rob Stone, it should be simulcast.
Yes.
The final headgear should be simulcast.
We will be silent for the next 12 minutes. Then they all sit there.
That's what Portnoy's going to go do. Yeah. Reverence
respect,
for Lee
though.
Corso.
The
No, you're
respect.
right. They should. They should.
We will
do
now
that.
be silent, and then they all
That's
just sit there in
Yes.
silence.
And Urban Meyer just stares straight ahead with a guy in a bong in a mirror smoking something as he talks or doesn't talk. Dirty Urban.
I still revisit that video where he's telling that dude to get out of the way on the boat. What's going on there?
It's the Urban Meyer catastrophe. The Urban Meyer catastrophe in the pros.
The guy in the mirror seems to be having a great time.
But wait a minute. For everyone to know how that was going to fail, and then for that to fail, with pictures in a bar in Ohio State, with a guy in a mirror smoking a bong on a yacht while he does an interview,
It's just like what you have to be as a head coach, and what we knew about him in front of the press conference backdrop was Urban Meyer is a certain way. He gets success. He's kind of like the dictator ruler of this program.
And he had health issues. He had to step down because of just the health issues.
In the end, dude loved to party.
I'm sure he'll stop on Saturday to honor Lee Corso. And
We will now be silent for 12 minutes.
They should say, look, we're going to make our predictions here. We understand we're trying to build something here at Big Noon. Yeah. But head on over to ESPN.
It's a great idea.
I would be more likely to tune back in next week to Fox if they did that.
I would say classy from you, Fox.
I would give them a standing ovation
Classy
in my
from you.
living room. Wow.
Now, I'm not watching the show regardless, but if I saw that clip, I'd be like, okay.
Good on you.
Incentivized.
Good on you guys. That's what I'd say.
And the way that you guys watch television these days, as we go into one of these dirty weekends to get ready for football.
Stop doing that. It's not a dirty weekend. It's an awesome weekend. First weekend since 1945 we've had this. It's all up. There's such an uptick in vibes right now. This is beautiful. This is not dirty.
You misinterpreted what my dirty meant. When I said one of these dirty weekends, I meant the people who listen to this show will spend a weekend on their couch watching nonstop football.
Not taking a shower.
And not showering.
So smelly.
We're headed into Red Zone Sundays, and this is the warm-up. The warm-up is 3 games with top 10 teams, and also Lee Corso kicking it off, leading you to Arch Manning, and that game. And when I asked the question, as everyone gets all excited about college football, the network that has the game is not the one with Lee Corso, correct? So coming out of, so you have to change channels in order to find Lee Corso's moment. And before a game.
To find the game, I'd say. They'll probably be on course.
Yeah, wouldn't you assume the automatic move Saturday morning is ESPN?
I'm asking you guys, so the changing of a channel is not really something we do now in modern age where we go to a television at an appointed time.
I think we can handle it.
I think we can handle it too, but what I'm asking you is the game usually dictates whether you get the numbers before the game. That's usually how that works.
I've been conditioned because Fox with their Big Ten package always prioritizes that noon window, much to the frustration of the Big Ten fan base. I think more often than not over the last few years, I see the headgear and I switch to the next channel. Or I go to whichever game I'm betting on, which for me is the biggest game of the weekend.
You get the YouTube TV, you get the 4-box.
I think also like the big game is never on ESPN after College game day. So you're just kind of used to that routine on Saturdays. You're never like, okay, now I'm going to stick to ESPN
you're right,
and
it's
it's
true.
Minnesota. And it's like, this is not the big game
Yeah, it's
today.
always Saturday night.
Yeah.
You're right.
And are we at a point now, given what network and cable television is or the way that people watch this, that you're not excluding the poor when you say you've got multiple devices? You're watching, you're addicted to action, and so if you've got a television, you've also got your device working in a way that allows you to watch both things at the same time if you want to.
We're born for this. We've been conditioning for this weekend. You know, in 1945, the last time they had this top 10 matchups to start a season, I'm sure they were flummoxed.
I mean, there's enough games on regular television starting in the afternoon that you don't need to get crazy with the subscription services. There's still enough games.
Well, I don't know. I think YouTube TV has till 5 o'clock today to settle a dispute with Fox.
I was just saying, isn't there something going on as well with the ABC affiliate down here too?
ABC is channel 18.
That's
so if
weird.
you want to watch, because it's now owned by the Sunbeam Television locally. This is inside that owns channel 7, the Fox affiliate down here. One affiliate owns 2 of the networks.
Just tell me where to go to watch my games.
Channel 18. Just have you'll find it. Just say sports in your remote.
Put it on the poll.
Mike, come change my channel.
It's very easy. And then it'll be like, the Premier League, it's a disaster. Brighton and Hove Albion? Bite me and Cove? What? No, Chelsea FC. No, not Chelsea Handler.
The rivalries, the bands, the upsets, college football is back. Think you know the game? Put it to the test with DraftKings Sportsbook and turn picks into big payouts. New customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. With live betting, rivalry week boosts, and more, DraftKings Sportsbook has everything you need to own your Saturday. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. That's code DAN for new customers to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
Dan Le Batard.
We were talking to and about Freddie Gibbs, and then Greg Cody made an appearance, and Chris Cody made an appearance, and we were talking about the possibility of Freddie Gibbs actually having the rap album of the year, at which point Chris Cody, who is too young for this and doesn't know like athletes from the 90s,
Right.
Chris Cody,
You okay?
says, is that is that Barry Gibbs? Is he, and so then the Bee Gees start playing.
Stugotz.
Well said.
A little bit of a struggle, a little bit rusty here.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Chris Cody, what do we have here for the final Suey performance of the day?
We have a new category, I'd say. It's a musical performance category, and I would say the last half dozen years, best musical has just been dominated by the Yetis, the Streeters, the Jeremys, doing these high-produced, well-produced songs. And I want to show some love to the other people, the people that call in the Boost Mobile songs, the Rafe LaFriends, the Doliacs, the
bad songs,
Taylor singing terribly,
the bad songs.
So we're having a new category this year. It's called Worst of the Best Musical Performances.
And now the Suey nominees for Worst of the Best Musical Performance. The best of different listeners singing about Rafe LaFrentz and Michael Doliak.
Don't try to take Rafe LaFrentz to the hole, 'cause you will not score. You know who that is. That is Rafe LaFrentz. Who the F are you?
Jeremy Tachet's unfinished Tony Reale song.
Tony's new YouTube tour.
This is great. When positivity reigns, things are fresh in their light. Tony Reale's full of life. And now he comes to you, might have a guest or two. Tony Reale's full of life. Fresh forever, Tony Freshness. Fresh forever with Tony Fresh and full of life.
Listener from Boldest Take singing about Alexander Madison.
Alexander Madison. My name is Alexander Madison.
David Sampson, All I Need.
All I need is just a little more time to be sure how I feel. Is it just in my mind?
More listeners singing about Rafe LaFrentz and Michael Doliak.
He's in the paint, in the paint. Doliak, Doliak, Doliak. I would do anything for love, but I won't Doliak. Oh no, said I won't Doliak.
Listener serenades Sergei Bobrovsky.
Ba 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 Bobrovsky, ba 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 Bobrovsky, ba 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 Bobrovsky. Stop that shot.
Listener sings about Tua Tagovailoa.
And I'm here to remind you of the check down pass that you threw to me. He's got gray hair. He's left-handed with the eye black cross that you wear for me. Tua Tagovailoa.
Taylor Vipolis, Belichick is coming to town.
He sees you when you're practicing. He knows your favorite plays. Your script won't work on the first drive, 'cause he's got it all on tape. Oh, you better watch out. He's getting his guys. You better find out that ball's PSI. Belichick is coming to town.
Even more listeners singing about Rafe LaFrentz and Michael Doliak.
Rafe LaFrentz played several places, started out at Kansas, ended up with the Blazers. He was just okay, but they let everyone in, so Hall of Famer one day. Oh, he blocked shots back in people's faces, and he knocked down threes on a regular basis when Rafe LaFrance played in all those places.
Doliak, he's 6 feet from the rim, and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet is close enough.
Taylor Vippolis, fire Mac Brown.
Well, I'd fire Mac Brown. Yeah, I'd fire Mac Brown. Watching this team is my personal hell. Yeah, I'd fire Mac Brown.
I'm not sure that deserved to be a category.
Oh, man.
All the Boost Mobile calls. Got to do something with those.
No, we don't. We could have just never thought of them again. We could have just never thought of them again.
One of the options was upholding a standard.
And then I thought that was on the table. But
Worst
instead,
of the best, guys.
Billy came in here and harumphed something today that made me feel like he soon is going to be an abuelo. He came in here and he said 50 home runs used to mean something.
Oh, that is true. I mean, it wasn't a talking. It was just sometimes it's just a comment. It wasn't for talking on air about. Just 50 home runs used to. Did it not used to mean something? 50 home runs.
It did.
Yeah. Cal Raleigh has 50 home runs. Happened 2 days ago.
Big dumper.
No one here was talking about it. Nope. Used to mean something.
So did baseball.
I mean, just sit down and be like, oh, 50 home runs.
You know what they're doing right now? This Seattle-San Diego. You know what that is, right? You know what it is? It's the Vetter Cup.
Oh.
For Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam. They're playing the Vetter Cup. That's right. And Cal Raleigh, he won the Better Man MVP award the other day.
This is Pearl Jam dorking out he's doing. People are so tired of that. It's the only part of Zaslow they don't
Major League
like.
Baseball.
I'll take things that were relevant in 1995.
Well, Mariners and Padres are doing it. Vetter Cup.
To Billy's point, Amin said earlier in the show that Cal Raleigh is on pace to break Judge's AL home run record, and we're just like, meh.
Do you think they're going to break into programming for that? Because I have my doubts. They're not going to do. They did it for a Yankee, but they're not doing it for a big dumper.
No, I don't think so. And poor Maris's kid is probably like, I'll be there. I'll be there. Like, Roger Jr., not your time anymore, buddy.
So 61 doesn't mean anything anymore?
It didn't mean anything since 1998. Then we tried to pretend to make it a thing. Like, this is the AL home run record. It's like no one gives an AL about that.
ESPN.
Hell.
ESPN. Straight up. If you eat into Memphis, Cincinnati for a Cal Raleigh at bat, I'm going to kill you. ESPN, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
A riot would have sufficed.
I'm going to kill you.
I don't even want.
I'm going to kill you, ESPN.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. 18 or older, 19 or older in Nebraska, 21 or older in Arizona. Jackpocket is a lottery courier and not affiliated with any state lottery. Void where prohibited. Scratchers subject to availability. Opt in for $5 in non-withdrawable lottery credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at jkpt.co/draw5 and September 30th, 2025.
Howdy, folks. It's Mike Ryan, and just in time for football season, I am happy to announce our partners at Game Time are back. And look, it's not NFL season without in-demand ticket. There's some big games coming. It's going to be hard to get through that door. Sometimes your only option is a secondary market. The Game Time app gives the advantage back to fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use. And the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time at the best price. Plus, fees are always included. So what you see is what you pay. I'm an NFL free agent, so I'm always looking for the biggest games, and Game Time makes it so easy to peruse the app and find incredible deals, like NFL tickets as low as $100. They have incredible features like seat views. You get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. This is clutch if you're not familiar with the venue. And their low price guarantee means Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference if you find a lower price out there. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.